All right, hello again, this is Dr. Christians. Now we're at Schuppert Cottage right here. This is actually right next door. That's Ritma Cottage that we just looked at. This is Schuppert. We're gonna go inside Schuppert and do some of the same kinds of things. We're gonna look around, see what we can see in the attic, in the basement, see if we can get any information about windows and walls and different things for the energy performance here of Schuppert Cottage. All right, follow me inside. Okay, so let's head in here to Schuppert Cottage. So as we walk on the little porch, we see, a nice couch and a purple sled, but let's head inside and see what's going on inside Schuppert Cottage. So as we walk in, right, this is obviously got some fun Greek life stuff. We can take a look at the windows. Oh, there's a golf ball. You can see some of the windows, there's some stained glass. These are just single pane windows, but then as you can see on the other side, on the outside, we can see a storm window as well. So that second pane of glass there on the storm window. Obviously, can't see what's going on here inside the walls. We'll have to head upstairs first to see what's going on in the upstairs attic. Okay, so as we walk upstairs here at Schuppert, we actually meet a second door because this has 3 floors. So we have to go all the way up to the third story to see what's going on up in the attic. So here we are, third story of Schuppert Cottage. We get this fun little short door, maybe for hobbits or something. And then we can see back here some of the attic. So we have some insulation here on the sides. We can see on those windows, there's some wood in the front to keep the foam or the cellulose insulation that we have from blocking the view. And we have some nice, relatively thick cellulose insulation. We'll have to measure it to get the exact thickness and the R value, but that's what's going on out here. Above a lot of the roof here at Schuppert. All right, so we can see with this little short door, some of what's going on here. We can't actually get a sense of what's going on here above a lot of this ceiling. We have some fun vents back here, so we actually can see, can't see it on the video very well, but if we peek through the vents, we can peek through this old outlet cover and we can see basically the same thing that we see over on the other side where we see some nice blown cellulose insulation. Not a lot else that we can see. We see obviously up some older windows here. We'll have to take a little bit deeper dive for the rest of the attic to see what's actually behind the ceiling. We're gonna head down to the basement and check out what's going on in the basement of Schuppert Cottage. All right, follow me down there. All right, so here in the kitchen, before we go downstairs, we'll just point out some more single pane windows, but again, on the other side of that is a storm window. And now down to the basement. So this is a place that I prefer to just go in the summer when nobody's here. We have this nice, really ugly Michigan State green. I don't know why anyone would do that to a place. Can't see a lot. There's a nice drop ceiling. Actually, fun fact, you can see here on the walls, this is the actual original cement wall. And these cinder blocks, the whole cottage was actually raised to get a nice tall ceiling. Here we can see a furnace. And then this gives us a little bit better picture of what's going on here in the basement. So we can see kind of bare cement walls, so no insulation between the cement and the outside. But up at the top, it's kind of high for me, you can see these rim joists have been spray foamed. So we have this spray foam that really gives us insulation value. It also gives us a lot of air leakage protection so that air is not leaking underneath the foundation into the basement. What we don't see is any insulation between here, the basement, and the first floor. But a change, we do see this rim joist insulation. All right, so that's about all the time I want to spend down here in the basement of Schuppert Cottage. So I'm gonna run outside and we'll meet you back on the outside. All right, let me out of there. Okay. All right, good to get out of Schuppert Cottage. So we got to see some things. We got to see a little bit of what's happening in the attic, definitely some of the basement windows, some things like that. We'll have to do a little bit more looking to see what's happening actually in the walls, but hopefully that gives us a little bit of a joyous tour there of Schuppert Cottage.